This Sunday, Dolphins going on the road for the back-to-back weeks now, going against the New York Jets. New York Jets 2-2, able to beat the Steelers last week, which was another horrible game. Arguably, before this game, that was the worst game of the year so far. It was so many turnovers. It was so ugly. So the Dolphins going up to there. A lot of injuries so
Oh my
far.
God.
Just
Oh,
guys.
you have it up?
Yeah, I have it up right now. Armstead's not practicing. Keithan Carter is still not practicing. Croston's not practicing. Xavier Howard not practicing. Tua, obviously, not practicing. Robert Jones not practicing. Oh, also, by the way, now Tyreek Hill is limited in practice. Who knows if he's going to play.
Waddle missed.
Waddle did return to practice in a limited manner. We finally see Tanner Connor back joining them in practice. Raekwon Davis is full. There's so many names on this list that it is a concern going forward, but we should be handling this game still comfortably. Teddy Bridgewater it should come in and manage the game, if nothing else. So while the injury list is ridiculous, this is a very winnable game. We should be walking out of New York 4-1.
Yeah, I believe so. And I actually meanwhile, Xavier Howard and Teron Armstead have not played. Mike McDaniel said that, typically if they don't practice, they don't play. But these are two elite players.
Right.
And so they don't necessarily need to practice to play. So Xavier Howard is a true game time decision. I'm somewhat hoping that he doesn't play because his agent came out and said that he has two significant groin injuries. It's not just one. He has both groins are injured, and his agent said they are significant. So I want him to, take that extra week, get healthy. Teron Armstead, we've seen he's been, missing practice for like the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's fine.
Yeah, he misses practice. I don't think he practices during the season at all, practically. Even looking back with the Saints, he's always on the injury report, but he always tries to play. He's a big boy. He's one of the best offensive linemen in the league. He's somebody who I definitely want to make sure he's in the lineup. The Jets defense, not the best, not the worst. But the Dolphins' offensive line without Teron Armstead is something that I do not want to see.
I think that we're going to be seeing a lot of Durham Smythe this week just in pass protection because
not Gesicki.
I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of Gesicki, especially the tight ends coach came out and said we're not going to ask Gesicki to power block. He said obviously. But he is going to be put in some pass catching situations. I think we may be seeing a lot of Igbo this week. I know you're not happy about that. I'm not.
Has he been active for a single game yet?
He's been active for 2. Has played a total of I think 10 snaps, and that was in 1 game.
Please don't get him on the field.
Please no. No, he's probably going to be on the field. Unfortunately, I've jumped ship on him. He just has no instincts. He needs to show me something before I can jump. He has all the athletic ability, but he has no instincts, which makes him a
bad football player. There you go. Looking at the Jets, they're not as beat up as we are. They still have a few injuries of their own that they're dealing with.
I don't believe CJ Wilson. I don't believe Zach Wilson is on the injury report.
No. Zach Wilson's playing. He was limited for a little bit, but he's good to go. Max Mitchell hasn't practiced, their offensive tackle. Quincy Williams has not practiced. Breece Hall has been slightly limited. However, he's probably gonna be good to go. Marcel Harris.
The only true game time decision I believe is Dwayne Brown.
Yeah, well, Marcelo's saying he's good to go because he did just get activated from the injured reserve. After 4 weeks, he's eligible too.
They said he's a true game time decision, but in his interview today, he said that as of right now, he's good to go. But if anything happens to change, maybe he just needs another week off. Who knows?
Yeah, hey, calm down, man. You got to worry about your health. Your health is your wealth.
But I think the reason that so I know as Dolphins fans we've noticed that Andrew Van Ginkel hasn't really been playing too much. I mean, that could be due to the emergence of Melvin Ingram being really good, but I think it's also for the fact that we haven't been blitzing as much because we need all the DBs that we can afford to have back there.
Right.
If you really go back and watch the tape, we really haven't blitzed as much as we normally do. It's still in the 40s. But we normally blitz somewhere in the 50 percentile. And we're getting somewhat pressure with 3 or 4 guys, but dropping back all those other guys really helps. And that's why I think that's why we shut down Stephon Diggs relatively well. And even last week, Jamar Chase didn't really do much against Kadir Kohu. Darth Cater was on Jamar. I mean, T. Higgins popped off, but I think
that's something you want to do against a team that has here with the Jets. Good weapons, but questionable quarterback play. Accuracy issues are definitely a concern. A mobile quarterback, too. So you bring the house, you play man, he can turn the corner and burn you for 25 yards. But you do have a quarterback that he's not too comfortable in the pocket. He's actually pretty bad in the short to intermediate areas. So if you play a little bit back, maybe even see some zone, which as Dolphins fans, we're not the biggest fans of.
No.
But this is actually a game where zone makes a lot of sense. You have some very good wide receivers for the Jets. You have Moore, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Corey Davis has kind of got forgotten about. He's actually their leading receiver on the season with 261 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I think playing zone this game and just consistently bringing 4 guys, of course, put everybody on the line, have them back out last second, and a few blitzes actually involved in it. But I think this is a defensive game plan for the Dolphins. It would be very beneficial to go into this with playing some more soft coverage than you would with the Bills. I think you want to get. I think I would have probably preferred us to get a little bit more pressure on Josh Allen. Yeah, and we tried. We sent the house quite a few times, and he's just that good that he can make a quick decision. We don't want to give a talented quarterback like Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes time. You want to make them try to make quick decisions, and a lot of times they will make that decision correctly, but you don't want to give them time. Zach Wilson, you can give him time. He's not going to analyze the defense and break you down. No, he might hit a home run over the top a couple times. And we saw last year, like Byron Jones get burnt by Elijah Moore, took it to the house. Yeah. And the Jets, they competed in both the games that we took from him. But I would much prefer us to see us play a little back, especially now with X, and X probably going to miss the game or be a game time decision. And Byron Jones hasn't been elevated yet. So
I really just see a little back. Because of Byron Jones, like honestly, if it wasn't for Byron Jones being set back 5 weeks at this point now, I would honestly say, let's go ahead and play X. But because Byron Jones is out, I want X to be as healthy for the long run as possible. Yeah. And similar to Tua, this is a game I think he can miss. Given I respect Garrett Wilson, I respect Elijah Moore. They have good wide receiver weapons. It's more about Zach Wilson, and Jalen Phillips has consistently got pressure. Melvin Ingram has consistently got pressure. Christian Wilkins is always there. Raekwon Davis is finally getting a little bit healthier. We have the weapons to put pressure on him without blitzing. And like you said, he's not really good under pressure. He gets flustered, throws the ball up, gets those turnovers. If we can, that is one thing that this Dolphins defense has been missing is turnovers, interceptions, fumble recoveries. Besides week 1 against the Patriots, we really haven't done much of that.
Yeah, we saw last year a lot of our success was built on turnovers, on interceptions. Over the last 2 years, when Xavier Howard led the league interceptions last season, had himself, I think, 7 or 8 interceptions as well.
I believe we led the league or in consecutive games with the turnover.
Yeah, we had a very nice record going for us.
It was like 20-something games. It went from 2019 all the way to 2021, like halfway through. And then I believe that was one of the games that Byron Jones missed, and we ended up not giving up a turnover, and we got blown out.
We've seen some strip sacks, but I mean, if I'm not mistaken, we only have, 1 interception on the season?
Yeah, we have 1 interception.
Javon Holland in the back of the end zone.
When Xavier Howard tipped it up.
Yeah, off the Devontae Parker.
Yeah.
All Dolphins involved.
All Dolphins involved. Love you, Devontae.
Yeah, I'd like to see some turnovers here against a Jets team that's young and experienced. Zach Wilson, not very trustworthy. And another reason why I probably lean towards being more cautious with X is you look forward a week, which, most teams don't like to do. But let's be real. You got Justin Jefferson next week. You don't want Kadir Kahu on Justin Jefferson. You don't want Keon Crossan on Justin Jefferson.
Keon Crossan might not even play, bro.
You want your best corner guarding arguably the best receiver in the league. You don't want you coming against this week. So you got some younger guys, second-year Elijah Moore, first-year Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis. How good really is he? Good receiving core, very respectable. That's their best position group on the team.
But it's not
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne, Adam Thielen, and then on top of that, they have Dalvin Cook who can catch out of the backfield.
Yeah, that definitely concerns me. But I do expect the Dolphins to get out here with victory. Give us a score prediction.
I actually saw someone predict an overtime win for the Dolphins, 23-20. I don't think I'm going to go overtime win, but I do like the score of 23-20.
The Dolphins have definitely provided some heart problems this year for their fans. Patriots game, not so much. Then you go week 2. We overcame 2 21-point leads, 2 drives at the end of the game to beat the Ravens. Next week, 4th down stand, punt the ball off Sherfield's butt cheeks, stop them, win the game. And last week, our hearts were on our stomachs when you see Tua throwing up gang signs, so to speak. Tua's hospital bill, as your fantasy football team is so brightly named now. Actually, you can't name that anymore. You can't. Your name. I have Tua now, so you're no longer.
I gotta change it.
I think I should change my name to that now. You're gonna be confused when they see they're going against Tua's hospital. They're like, wait a minute, who am I playing?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, but the Dolphins have not. The Dolphins have not been for the faint of heart so far. I mean, you look after the Week 3 game, we were literally the talk of the league. You have pundits like Rich Eisen, many ESPN pundits saying we're the best team in the league. Obviously, I didn't agree with that. I thought that was a little short-sighted, and we're seeing that now. And obviously without Tua, things are a little different.
Especially with how like the Ravens and Bills looked against each other. Like the Bills still looked pretty decent against us, but then they struggled mightily against the Ravens, which we didn't really have a problem moving the ball against them. The Ravens kind of struggled.
The Ravens choked again.
Ravens choked again, so it's like they're not really a top 5 team. The Bills are. I put them still top 4, top 5.
I think the Bills are the second best team in the league now.
I put the Chiefs. So I put the Eagles number 1.
Not anymore.
No.
I'll go Chiefs 1, Bills 2, Eagles 3.
I still have the Eagles on top because their defense has just been rolling, bro. It's not even just their offense.
Cowers made some very good points last week, if the weather's different, you even predicted the Jaguars to win, and the Jaguars were up 14-0. If the weather's different, T-Law fumbled the ball a couple times. Weather's different. That game might go a different way. They also haven't played the best competition so far. I am a Eagles believer. I think they're the best team in the NFC. The Chiefs are electric. The Chiefs are the best team in the league right now. And if it's a one-off between the Bills and the Eagles, I like the Bills in that matchup. So I got the Eagles as the third best team in the league. But the 3 teams of the Dolphins, Ravens, and Bills, put them in any order you want. I think they're all top 7 teams.
Yeah, I put the Dolphins correctly at 4, I think. Because I don't think that there's an NFC team that's better than them with Tua and X healthy.
Well, besides the Eagles.
Well, besides the Eagles, which I have the Eagles at number 1. I have the Chiefs at number 2. And I pretty much think you can interchange the Dolphins and Bills. At this point, right now, if you talk about this Sunday, obviously the Bills are better. But I think other than that, they're really interchangeable. We did see Jordan Poyer come back and completely shut down Mark Andrews, which was huge for them. Unfortunately for our fantasy teams. I was just about to say. Yeah. So, but I mean, other than that, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's just interchangeable. Like I don't know how else to put it. I think the top 3 separates itself. That being the Chiefs, Bills, and Eagles as the top tier. Then I think you get to us. You get to the Buccaneers. You get to the Ravens, the Bengals. Now that they've had like a stretch of games to put together, the Buccaneers lost last week to the best team in the league, and the offense with Mike Evans back looked completely different than it did against the Packers. They still got blown out.
They did, but again, against the best team in the league. We're not putting them in that tier. We're putting them. They're a tier 2 team. I say Dolphins and Bucks are interchangeable. Then you have the Ravens. Bengals are also in that bunch. So, and that's not a bad place to be.
I say the Bengals are. I'm going to go ahead and put the Bengals at 5, Bucks at 6, Ravens at 7.
That's fair. You can put them in any order you like. But in order to stay that way, the Dolphins have to get a victory this week, going up to New York. Actually, 100%. Going to New Jersey, technically. Going up and playing the Jets. Could possibly go 3-0 in division. First 3 games beating all 3 division rivals, 2 of which at home, and the worst team in the division on the road. So, it has been a little favorable for the Dolphins, taking advantage of the heat in South Florida. We saw all the Bills players going down. Diggs was going down every other play down here in Miami. But it would mean 3-0 in division, top of the AFC, still number 1 seed, and that's all you can ask for through the first 5 games of the season.